In the meantime, I want to introduce our special guest for the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it's comic and actress Katy Brand. Joe's daughter, Russell's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got that established.
All of that, good. Let's get out of the way quickly, shall we? Yeah, good,
and
good.
she is indeed, of course, the star of TV's brilliant Big Ass series. Recently endured 3 hours in the company of Lee Ryan, the bloke from the boy band Blue, vocal harmony group Blue, for an episode...
You were right there with me, though, weren't you, Matthew?
It was an interesting evening, wasn't it? I love the line, he was the gift that kept on giving.
Well, he did. Didn't help himself, did he?
No. Now, that's been and gone now, Buzzcocks,
Yeah.
but you've got a Christmas special coming up, is this?
I've got a Christmas special coming up. Yeah, it's a sort of... we're running together all of the music videos that I do in the first 2 series of the show, and then with a few extra things, we've got a Katy Perry spoof that we filmed, especially in a load of new interviews. How can you spoof somebody as
intelligent as Katy Perry?
Well, I can't say it on morning television, but it involves the W word and a tramp. Yeah, there's that coming up, and I've got a DVD of the first series out, so it's all happening.
It's all happening. Good. And we're going to see more Big Ass in the new year?
We are, most certainly, yes.
Good,
so there's going to be, we'll be doing a 3rd series next year, so I am employed. Thank you.
At this rate, you might see me in a minority.
Yeah.
It has to be said. And that goes out on ITV...
ITV2 this Saturday, 13th. Yeah, that was Mika.
Yeah.
That took 3 women and about 5 bandages to try and make me look like a man. It didn't work.
I wonder how much it would take Mika to look like a man.
Yeah, that's
a thought.
That's true. We filmed a special sort of interview with me pretending to be him in the studio as well, so that'll all be part of it. So, yeah.
Do you ever meet the people you take off?
I have started to recently, which is making me increasingly reclusive. Who
have you met? And what was their response?
I did a great photo shoot actually with Sadie Frost for Comic Relief recently, where Mary McCartney was taking the pictures. I do a load of sketches where I pretend to be Kate Moss at school, bullying Sadie Frost and Stella McCartney, and so I did this sort of photo shoot, and Sadie Frost turned up, and Mary McCartney, Stella's sister, was taking the pictures, and I was just so pleased they brought a camera, because I thought I was going to get down there and they were just going to kick my head in. But I sort of said to Sadie Frost, you know, it's so cool of you to do this, and she was like, oh no, it's fine, Kate Moss told me to watch it, she really likes it, so that was really nice.
Because I was thinking of Craig David and Bo Selector, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll do the spoof with you, Bo Selector, and then of course the next thing you know, Craig David's career's in ruins.
I know. Well, I know, but I think we were sort of we always go for really A-list people. So because I think there's no fun in sort of kicking someone when they're down. You know, I've constantly refused to do Kerry Katona for that reason.
Yes.
I think they're all
met
kind
Kate
of...
Winslet yet?
No.
I'm a housewife. Leave me
alone.
alone.
She's too normal to meet me. I'm probably too big a star now because she's so normal. If you read actually her latest interview with Vanity Fair, I mean, the very first paragraph, all she's talking about is doing a poo. Just like, will you stop, woman, please? She can't stop herself. I know.
Eric, can you lend it to me after you finish? Yeah, thanks, Eric. Thank you. OK, great to have you with us once again. It should be a cracking show. We've got some great talking points. It's going to kick off, though, with Miss Brand taking us through the headlines. I can't remember the last time I saw your hair down. It's getting long, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you know, with a little bit extra.
Is it extension? I'm rubbish, aren't I?
Rescuing her from the booth. If she hangs her hair over the edge, you can climb up, man.
Like Rapunzel.
I was sitting there thinking, she looks different. What is it? OK.
That'll be why it grew overnight.
Why does your lady have to be behind bulletproof glass?
She's the only one that hasn't got a cold.
OK, fine.
We're trying to preserve her.
Is she like the Pope or something?
Yeah, so that we don't interfere with her busy work on the telephones.
Oh, I see.
OK, so what's making news today then, Katy?
Well, the front page of The Sun, and then more inside of the latest in the case of the Baby P story. Sharon Shoesmith, the head of Children's Services at Haringey Council, has finally been sacked after a huge campaign by The Sun and other people signed by 1.4 million people.
Payoff?
No payoff, no job, and according to The Sun, no shame. And, no money at all. I mean, it's just, it's obviously, this is all very tough on everybody. I don't think anybody comes out of this well, and I think whatever's happened to her, and maybe she does deserve to lose her job. Maybe she hasn't been very competent, but I think I don't think there are many social workers who start out as social workers thinking, oh, I don't care about kids.
She didn't start out as a social worker. She came through the education side. Right. There's no doubt that she's been witch hunted, and I feel sorry for that because, you know, she is just one woman in a part of a whole machine. But the fatal mistake that she made is she said, well, I'm not resigning.
Yeah.
Now, she didn't show any remorse. Now, that
Mind you, let's take, if you took a leaf out of, for example, prime ministerial books and MPs, so these are our civic leaders, and if you see them as an example, why would anyone resign?
Absolutely, but the fact is that when a baby died, she decided to hold up graphs saying how well her department was going, and then it's now been alleged that they actually gave false information to Ofsted, you know.
Yeah, she certainly struggled with the PR front. OK, that's Shoe Smith gone.
Yeah, that's the Sun, so that's they obviously feel very triumphant about that. Next on, also in the Sun, this story that about all of these people who blockaded Stansted Airport, cancelling a load of flights, turned out to be all sort of very posh, upper-middle-class children.
In that case, they're obviously fools.
Exactly. I mean, I think
either
kind of young people are apathetic and they can't be bothered to protest, and for that reason there's a problem. Or they are protesting, and that's a problem because they're too rich. I do think it's quite funny, although, having tried to get to Stansted on the Stansted Express, it's only the posh people that can afford to get there, I think. That's why they're the only ones with the cars. Either that or maybe Stansted's near their second home in the country, so it's all quite convenient. But no, I think, you know, it's a sort of slightly silly thing to say that just because someone's a bit posh, that means they don't have any kind of social conscience.
Well said,
but,
said.
yeah, that was
maybe
just...
Maybe if they were less posh, they would actually be working, rather than having the time to protest.
That may well be true.
Possibly.
That may well be true, but I think a lot of them were students, so, you know, I think...
Well, one would hope they'd be studying then. Obviously not.
Easy, Larry, easy.
It's nearly Christmas.
Maybe they're drama students, in which case there's plenty of time.
Maybe they're just people who are, you know, finally had enough of Ryanair. I don't know. Could be any number of things. Anyway, moving on to the Daily Telegraph, who are giving a bit of... coverage to some bishops who are annoyed that the BBC is giving Jonathan Ross 18 million and they don't give the same amount to Songs of Praise, which they claim get as many viewers. I have to say, I mean, the Church of England is just sounding increasingly like a needy ex-girlfriend to me. I have to say.
When I read the small print of the story, I was astonished to read that actually the gap between the audience for Songs of Praise, which I'll be honest is not my favourite show of the week, and the audience of Jonathan Ross. I mean, let's look at when those.
But let's look at when those shows are on. I remember when I sort of was trying to do some stuff for children's television, and a very senior guy at Disney once said, "Well, you've got to remember that children will watch the news if it means they can stay up a bit later." I mean, Songs of Praise is on at sort of whatever time it's on. It's sort of tea time on Sunday, where that's sort of what you want. If you put it on at 10 o'clock on Friday night, I think it might get slightly lower.
It might be on in the back, but most kids will not. Well, my kids wouldn't watch Songs of Praise if I tied them down. They're either on YouTube or they're
tie your children down, do you, Larry?
Only occasionally.
I think what I like about this, though, is this sort of entire article about how these bishops are slamming the BBC, and the BBC kind of in a la-la-la, not listening way, just says at the end, the BBC said it was pleased that churches recognised that the BBC provided extensive religious and Christian programming. So that's that. Good old church getting, you know, just... trying to get a bit of attention. And then finally, back to the Sun, Bobby Davro, that charmer, has branded his EastEnders co-stars as fat and ugly, which is just lovely. I mean, for 20,000 people in front for when he was trying to do warm-up for Barry Manilow at the O2 Arena.
They warm the audience up before Barry Manilow comes on.
Yes, I know. You'd think they'd be warm enough already, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
But he said of one of his co-stars who he has to kiss that she had a face like a bulldog licking the something off a thistle. So how charming.
Do you think he was separated at birth from David Van Day?
Yeah.
They're actually brothers.
David Van Day, who's going to be on this show on Thursday.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think
who I've always respected as an artist.
Yeah.
I meant just to put that in the
I just think it's just a sort of extraordinary thing that sort of certain sorts of middle-aged men, rather, seem to think they can say whatever they like.
Yeah. Hang on, we're moving into comedy again, aren't we? We're moving into comedy.
It's just utterly charmless behaviour, and I just, oh dear, it just makes you sort of, you know, I feel a bit sad about...
It's going to be great, because we're going to talk about this comedy, whether it needs censoring, in just a moment, how many people have to be offensive. I think It's a fascinating discussion.
Page 15 of The Sun, 120 mile per hour sex act driver killed
You
two.
what? You what?
Yes, did I say sex? I didn't mean to, I'm so sorry. Sex.
120 mile an hour, I was hearing. 120 mile an hour sex act. That is a fast sex act.
This is a drink driver, a guy who consumed Imran Hussain, who, in his £50,000 Audi Q7, lost control after drinking and at the same time as pleasuring himself. He...
God, I live such a boring life.
There's no other way to tell the story, I'm sorry.
And they say men can't multitask.
But clearly he can't. Or he wouldn't have cracked the car.
Oh, dear.
Yes. It's
But he's killed, hasn't he? Actually, he's killed.
He has killed too.
Right,
so,
okay,
we
so
ought
it
to
is
keep
serious.
keep the focus on that. And it does make you ask, as a road safety campaigner says here, you know, that's 8 years. The full term is 14. What exactly do you have to do
Good point.
to get the 14? It makes one wonder.